Hey, Shalom, Yisrael. I want to start with source by giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, double honors, possible GMS, and honors to you brothers that are doing the work in truth, sincerity. Just want to do a real quick one. Once again, about poverty. Yeah, we live in London. It's supposed to be a great city. Where you're walking around, even in really expensive, nice parts of the city, and you see people homeless. I remember the station I get off when I'm going work, which is where I get off, the center of the city, a really affluent part of the city. You had a couple sleeping in a bed, literally outside the station. They just had a mattress. Was it a mattress? Or they just in their duvet covers? I forget, but the point stands, and you be going around, and you basically have empty houses, and he sort of block them out, not let people sleep in there. I remember hearing, I believe, from RT that in Europe there are more empty houses than there are homeless people. Right? It just goes to show you what kind of society that we're living in, right? I know you get a big problem with veterans. They've been told that they're going out to fight for the country, fight for fighting for England, fighting for America, but then they come back and they realize that nobody gives a shit about them. Right, but just wanted to go into the law and basically how in Israelite law you were taken care of. Your brother will take care of you, and that there was stuff there for you. Basically a welfare system. Right, so this is Leviticus 23:22 says, "When you reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field when thou reapest, neither shalt thou go gather any gleanings of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am Yahweh, your power." Right, basically, when you was to till your ground, let's say you had, 100 acres of land, right? A tenth of that, you was basically supposed to leave onto the onto the poor. I'm not too sure about if it's exactly a tenth. Don't quote me on that. But basically, when you used to have your land, you weren't supposed to just clean it out. You're supposed to leave some for the poor, right? Let me get the next one. This is Deuteronomy 15:7. Right, Deuteronomy 15:7 says, "If there be any among you a poor man of thy brethren within any of thy gates in the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thy heart, nor shut thine hand from thy poor brother." Right, you're supposed to, like I said, you're supposed to take care of your brother. You see your brother has need. In this kingdom, it's difficult because you might be helping a guy, rather thinking you're helping a guy, but he's just gonna go spend that money and do drugs. Right. So verse 8 says, "But thou shalt," which is what I remember the Apostle Tahar said this. Sometimes bowels of compassion may open up to a guy. You might be thinking, "Hey, this guy's sincere." You might, give him a cash, but you never know. You might, by you in this side anyway, giving someone some cash, like I said, they may end up going and do some drugs. So you've not really helped that person. You've hindered that person. You might think giving them food is helpful. But then if you give them food also, then that means all the money that they've been given throughout the day, they can just spend on drugs. So you don't know. Those ones, just go with the Spirit, whatever the Spirit feels inclined in you to do, right? As verse 8 says, "But thou shalt open thine hand wide unto him, and shalt surely lend him sufficient for his need in that which he wanteth. Beware that there be not a thought in thy wicked heart, saying, The 7th year, the year of release, is at hand, and thine eye be evil against thy brother, and thou givest him naught, and he cry unto the Lord against thee, and it be sin unto thee." Right. So what's this is talking about is the year of Jubilee. Right. So in fact, let me open up a new tab here. I don't know. I don't know where it is, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know where it is. I'm gonna have to look that up for yourself. Basically, the year of Jubilee is basically at the end of every 7 years you release. So anyone who owed you debt, you release them. So what this is saying here is, if a man comes to you in the 6th year, right, and then he asks to borrow cash, you can't then say, "Look, the year of release is almost here." I ain't gonna give you any cash. Why? Because it's being wicked. It's being, it's being a nigger, right? So whether it's the first year, the second year, the third year, the fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, you're supposed to lend onto the man, and in the seventh year, you're supposed to clear him those debts, right? I believe it's a year of release. Yeah, it says Deuteronomy 15:1. Russell Base at the top of this is at the end of every 7 years thou shalt make a release. Right, so just go detailing what it is that I just read for us here. Right, so basically, and that's why people in this kingdom just get overridden with debt, because everything is worked and worked and worked and worked and worked so hard until basically there's nothing left. Just like the land, which is why every 7 years you ain't supposed to, till the land, because you're supposed to let it grow, let it replenish the land, which is why there's so much weeds everywhere. When you look at it, weeds are actually very beneficial to the land that they're in, because what they're doing is they're taking up, one, they're a sign saying, look, this land is fucked up, right? Just give me some time to rest. Because what weeds do, they have really long roots. Their roots bring out all the nutrients from deep in the ground and bring it all the way up to the surface that is lacking in minerals, right? So here it is, Esau will be making millions and billions selling weed killers, pesticides and all that, but those pesticides are there for a reason. Those pesticides are a warning sign saying, look, this land is sick, let it rest. Right. But Esau, what does he do? He just throws chemicals on it. Right. But here's more of how Esau is. Habakkuk 2:5. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So let's go into that. Right, because he transgressed by wine, by his philosophies. Like everyone out here believes in this debt-based system. You be telling a guy, how can there be more dollars? How can the US be in more debt than there are dollars? And they'll be able to articulate a response. And you're just thinking, man, you fool. Right, this system is designed from its very inception to fail. Right, he is a proud man. Hey, Esau, so-called one, but who's more proud than he is? Right, says, neither keepeth at home. Right, he's going from country to country, continent to continent, trying to basically take that place over, put a central bank there. So, and what did the Rockefellers say? If I own the money, I don't care who, a Rockefeller, Rothschild, if I own the money, I don't care who writes the laws, because ultimately then the government is a debt slave to the bank, which is what you have here. When you hear it, why are countries putting austerity? Because the bank says so. The bank says, look, we've been borrowing too much. We've got to pay this money back. Right. Who enlarges his desires as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. Esau ain't satisfied, which is why he's charging you for water, he's charging you for air practically. That's what a carbon tax is. Here in London, you've got congestion charge, that's to prevent pollution. You've got the low CO2 emission zone to prevent pollution and all of that good stuff. So practically charging you for clean air, taxing you for clean air, right? What is basically taxing you for literally everything, man, right? And then making people so oppressed. People ain't got money to do anything anymore, right? This is Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Now that's talking about when Israel are going to be in authority, people are going to be cool with it, man. After they serve the 1,000 years of hardcore slavery to pay for, all the wickedness that they did to our people, people are going to be cool. They're going to be happy. They're going to be tributaries. When you read Isaiah 60, basically they're going to be bringing all their goodies to us, right? And they're going to be good. Right, we ain't gonna come out and see a slum and just be cool with it. That's what Esau is. Esau's what's the word, masochist. He likes to see other people suffer, which is why it says over here, right? He is as death and he cannot be satisfied. Right, he can't be. Nothing you can give Esau can satisfy him, which is why he's conquered the whole world, and now he's doing that. He wants to go into space, ruin that too, right? But when the wicked beareth all the people mourn, and people are mourning. Everyone on the face of the planet Earth is in mourning. When you have these, these people with money that think they're not immortal, but then you ask them, okay, so what about your family? Or their wife has just left them trying to take half of their fortune. And you know what? These rich people, those are the ones that live in credit the most, and those are the ones, hey, they're most likely to take the chip. Right, hey man, just take this chip. All of the money you spend on that Rolls Royce, your 70 million pound house, whatever, what have you, forget about that. Just take the chip. It's cool. No, but it ain't cool. You ain't supposed to take the chip. Right, this is Exodus 21:6. Why did I bring this out? Well, I won't. So it says Exodus 21:6 says, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. So basically, what this is detailing is you got a Hebrew servant who was working for his master, but then he was like, "Yo, look, I wanna work for you. I want to move on," because it was such that you'd serve a man for a while, but at that end of that while, you have enough to go and set yourself up. But not like in this king, like I'm detailing, right? What you have in this kingdom is you work for a man, and then that's it. You carry on working, you carry on working, you carry on working. It's all your life. All you do is work, 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 work. The average man is working from 20 years old until 70 something when they get stuck in their care home and just left to die, more or less. Right, but that's not how it was supposed to be. When you was working under a man, you were a servant to a man. You're supposed to have had enough after a period of time to basically go out and do what you do. Take Jacob, for example. He worked under Laban. He paid for his wives by working 14 years, right? And then at the end of that, he was good to go. He had enough. He obviously stayed a bit long, but he had enough to do what he had to do, and he left. And he dipped. How many years was it? I know he served 7 years and 14 years for Rachel and Leah. I forget whether he stayed after the fact or not. So don't quote me on that. It's not fresh in my mind. Right. Basically, here this is basically saying, look, like I'm getting muddled up now. Basically, I brought this out saying, look, a man's supposed to be good for a while, and then work for a man for a while, and then he's supposed to have had enough to basically be let out to go. I believe he says, yo, you know what, I got a good here, then he basically gets made a servant forever. Now you can carry on reading the rest of that as well. Right, and this is a quick one. First John 3:17 says, but whosoever hath this world's good and seeth his brother have need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of the Most High in him. Right, so you got us brothers nowadays. We're supposed to be taking care of each other, right? And it is wrong. We're compassionate people anyway, man. Not like the whole what do you call it, premise of this video is you ain't supposed to be like these Edomites who will see someone who maybe hasn't got a good job and he'll mock them. Oh, you just work there, ha 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 ha. Well, they're just gonna be working in the pits, breaking that rock. Well, because these people are so proud, they got this job pride. You got this job pride, and that's a demon that can come fuck with you at any point. You might be like, I got a good job, I got this, that. Hey, you always got to remember, the Lord can take it away from you at any moment. Right, but, it's like I said, I just wanted to touch on those quick things, right? Okay, because that's going to be a blot in our society, in our kingdom, having, homeless and abject poverty on our doorstep. Right, you get places like in Rio de Janeiro where you got guys in these plush villas overlooking slums. How can you truly enjoy a plush villa when you got to overlook slums? Like I said, masochist, man. You must be a masochist to look and enjoy. Oh, look at the poor people. Ain't that such a shame? On one side you're throwing away food, on the other side you can't eat food for shit. You're going days without eating. Parents ain't eating so that their children can eat. Those are true stories in Esau's kingdom. Right, so with that, Lord's will use edified. I'm going to say shalom.